Hi, this is David Larson. I am the Associate Chair for Performance Improvement in the Department of Radiology at Stanford University, and this is the Radiology Improvement Team Education Program. This is the second part of our discussion on the key driver diagram. In part one, we talked about how our improvement ideas move from theory to confirmed fact, and now in part two, we're going to walk through the specific process we use to accomplish that. To provide a framework for developing and implementing our changes in a structured way, we introduced the key driver diagram. There are two main parts to the key driver diagram, the key drivers and the interventions or countermeasures. The key drivers are the 4 to 6 things, most important things that must happen consistently, or the structures that should be in place for the team to reach its goal. Note that these are not specific interventions. And some common examples of key drivers include ensuring that standard work is consistently used, or that the operator receives immediate visible feedback. So in our blood pressure example, key drivers might include losing weight, eating a healthy diet, decreasing our sodium intake, exercising more, decreasing our alcohol consumption, and better managing stress. The second component of the key driver diagram, in addition to the key drivers, are the interventions or countermeasures. These are changes we're making to the processes, systems, job duties, organization, and so forth that will result in our key drivers occurring on a daily basis. In the blood pressure example, in order to accomplish our key drivers of eating a healthy diet, we might say we want to eat 2 pieces of fruit per day, keep a food journal, and engage a diet coach. And to decrease our sodium, we might stop putting the salt shaker on the dinner table, we might cook our own food, or we might be sure to order low sodium foods when we're dining out. The arrows indicate which key driver the intervention or countermeasure is designed to impact. The best interventions are those that impact more than one key driver, as we believe that the same interventions that will help us improve our diet will also help us lose weight. A couple of points to keep in mind here. Again, the point of the interventions or countermeasures is to achieve the key driver. There usually are a variety of ways to get there, so we should at first not limit ourselves to one solution. That way, if one solution doesn't work, then we have other alternatives. We should come up with a variety of proposed solutions through good brainstorming techniques. And as we come up with these solutions, we should keep asking ourselves which key driver the intervention or countermeasure supports. If it doesn't support any of our key drivers, then we should either reconsider our key drivers or reconsider the intervention or countermeasure. Okay, now hold on through these last few slides because they're going to get a little busy. We'll be revisiting these points throughout the course. There are a couple of other principles that we'll talk more about later on, and other tools that we built into our key driver diagram that will help us keep the project moving forward in an organized way. First, at the end of each intervention, we should specify our estimated reliability level of that intervention. Reliability level refers to the capability of the intervention to reproducibly achieve the desired results. In other words, if it's 95% reliability, that means I'm going to get my desired results 95% of the time, or 95 out of 100 times. In general, interventions that depend on individual skill can get us to no better than about 95% reliability. These include things like group and individual feedback, checklists and training, and basic standardization. We call these Level 1 reliability. Level 2 reliability interventions are generally focused on standardized techniques or procedures and include embedded standard work, reminders, and constraints such as forcing functions. Again, we'll talk about this more later on in the course. Level 3 reliability interventions are generally focused on system solutions or cultural change. These include process redesign, built-in quality, automated systems, fail-safes, physical structure, social norms, and so-called collective mindfulness. Generally, we start out with solutions like training and feedback at first, because we usually need to get people on the same page before we can move to higher level reliability solutions. Also, it's okay if you can't specify the reliability level of the solution. Just do your best. Your coach will help you with this. Next, we should specify the name of the person in charge of working on developing the intervention or countermeasure so we know who's accountable for moving it forward. And this may change over time. That's okay. We also tried to specify the maturity of the intervention, whether it's still just an idea, or if it has been tested, or if it has been successfully implemented. And finally, we list the status of the intervention. This just means that we put a date for when we can expect the next test or other action to occur. If we're past due, or if there's a problem with the intervention that we need the leaders to help us with, we use red font. Otherwise, we leave it in black font. Okay, some final points to keep in mind as we wrap up our discussion on the key driver diagram. First, both the key drivers and the interventions start out as a hypothesis. As we test and refine them, they gradually move toward becoming confirmed fact. Second, it's important to not confuse key drivers and interventions. The rule of thumb that I use is if there are many ways to accomplish it, then it's a driver. If it's a single solution, then it's an intervention or a countermeasure. Third, as we progress through the project, we should keep asking ourselves, do we have the right key drivers? And are we making progress towards accomplishing those drivers? All right, we went through a lot in this session, so thanks for sticking with me. In summary, we introduced the key driver diagram, which is a tool to help us organize our thinking to solve problems. It helps us move from our ultimate goal, which is often nebulous and subjective, to actually solving the problem in concrete, visible ways. In the process, our thoughts about what we think will bring about the change we're seeking gradually moves from hypothesis to confirmed fact. We introduced the concepts of key drivers, which are the most important 4 to 6 things that must happen consistently, or the structures that should be in place for the team to reach its goal. And finally, we talked about the specific interventions or countermeasures that we'll put in place to achieve our key drivers in order to accomplish our goal. Thank you for watching. This is David Larson with the Radiology Improvement Team Education Program.